welcome back to another episode 35 of Check the Stats Podcast, man. I'm your host, T. Cal. Here to the left, I got my co-host, Big Verse. Here to the right, got my co-host, Omari. And here to the far right, got my special guest. And once again, he might well be a member, my boy, Big Cam, because I'm in here, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Hey, but without further ado, man, Sunday night, a lot at stake for the NFC, man. Number one seed was at stake. Without further ado, Omari, let's get into it.
All right, man. Hey, Lions versus the Vikings recap, man. What are y'all thoughts on that game? What was more impressive, the Lions or the Vikings being like disappointing? What did y'all think about that?
I think the Lions. I just want to start it off before I get into any point. Amik Robinson. I hope I say your name right. Amik Robinson. You that dude. Not only did you take the challenge, but you dominated that challenge. 15 matchups, 10 man-to-man coverages, 5 targets, 2 receptions. I mean, Sam Darnold missed on a couple of throws, but for the most part, Amik Robinson, he stood up to the challenge against, if you want to argue one of the best receivers in the league, I think he's second. But that's a top 2 receiver in the NFL, and he went toe-to-toe. Also, he had bracket coverage over the top. He had some help, but him holding down his end of the bargain, man, that was nothing short but an impress. That was probably one of the best cornerback displays I've done seen all year long on national television with all the stakes number one in the NFC, and he took the challenge.
They've been going against each other since high school too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. They've been competing.
I definitely think them boys probably was. Now, shout out to the Lions. I think they had a great win, but I definitely think the Vikings was a little bit more disappointing to me. You got the number one seed on the line. Lose, you got to go on the road. First game of the playoffs. I thought the Lions would come out a little bit more, focused, I would say. Sam Darnold was off on a couple throws. They had multiple opportunities. They had hella interceptions. I think they had maybe 2 or 3. Don't quote me on it.
Who, you talking about Lions?
The Vikings.
The Vikings.
They have 2 or 3 interceptions.
He ain't done none.
No, I'm saying the Vikings threw interception.
The Vikings caught
interception.
The Vikings caught 2 interceptions.
From Jerod Goff,
from you.
So that's why I'm thinking. I feel like they kind of didn't capitalize on their opportunities as far as having that opportunity to have the number one seed. Now, granted, looking at the Vikings record, they lost to the Lions twice, the Rams once. I definitely think they'll be a formidable playoff opponent, but I definitely think if a team comes out, plays hard, they could be going home just like anybody else. So I'm a little bit more disappointed in the Vikings' output, more so than the Lions winning it.
I think I'm very impressed with the Lions. I think to say they had about 14 defensive players on the injury report, Alex Anzalone coming back was a big improvement. Run game, kind of covering the middle. I would say in that whole game plan, I think he was kind of their weak link in a sense. I think Sam Darnold kind of shied away from a little bit to get his outside targets going, but also I don't think he took into account they were being bracketed. So it was down there like 2 double teams on your top 2 guys. You got to work the inside game, and he just wasn't accurate. They zeroed him 13 times that game, and obviously Sam Darnold against pressure looked like New York Jets Sam Darnold. So I think Sam Darnold's agent, I know we done seen it on Twitter, he was screaming, no, because all the money that he was losing from his performance after he put on a masterpiece all season long. Right. But Jahmyr Gibbs, man.
He's a problem.
Jahmyr Gibbs, man, I'm telling you. It's hard for me, and there's so many good running backs. I think we really got to just take a second just to appreciate what we're getting at that running back position. When they try to bury it underground, they tried to devalue it to the lowest of the low. They had to go fight for their formidable pay. Mm-hmm. And first round pick, they called them crazy. This dude went out there 23 carries, $139.
Couple touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and he got a receiver one too.
He ran for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was balling.
They couldn't stop that little arrow route they was running with. They couldn't stop it.
5 catches, 31 yards, and a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, he was the offense. And like I told you, Cam, and I'm glad that we had that Sunday Night Football game as a prime example of why I say Jared Goff is not a top-tier quarterback. Jared Goff, he did not play well that game. I think we can all agree to that. But what does the Lions have that not too many teams have?
Supporting cast.
A great supporting cast that's able to pick him up when he's not playing well. And he leaned on the best O-line.
What do I say every time?
He leaned on the best O-line in the game. And they got Jahmyr Gibbs. And it's crazy because he was, like, I promise you, when they originally started running that football, man, it was a lot of negatives. It was a lot of 1 to 2, but Detroit stuck with it. Yeah. And that was the most impressive thing that I picked up from that game was not only can they beat you playing flashy with all the, the knickknacks of going on, but they can ground and pound, play hard-nosed, dirty football and grind it out with whatever team in the NFL. That's including AFC Kansas City too. But
sorry ass Texans. They take care of business. Okay. Shit, my Cowboys too. They take care
don't forget. So, don't forget.
One thing I can honestly say about the Lions, and I really appreciate them, as much as they got the injuries and been through it, all season, they just find the next man up. Next man up to step up. They go in. They don't complain. It don't matter where you play them at. Like Dan Campbell always say, it don't matter where you play us. Like they come out ready to go every time. They find a way. If they're hurt, if somebody's not playing. And I think as the playoffs go, they're only going to get healthier. They're going to get more guys back. David Montgomery's coming back in the divisional round. So I think the Lions with home field advantage, they got a chance to run the table and go all the way to the Super Bowl.
And I think
they're in the best position to do so.
And with that's a big key point too, that David Montgomery coming back in the divisional. There's no way in hell you was going to probably risk him in the wild card, no matter how big of a game that would have been if they were to lose that game against the Vikings. So the fact that they could get additional rest for guys like him and the rest of their IR guys that could potentially show up in the playoffs, that's huge. And I was very impressed with Detroit. But at the same time, part of me wants to lean towards being disappointed in what the Vikings were able to do. And I don't change my viewpoint on how I look at that team because, they're still a squad that went 14-3. That's a talented-ass team. Yeah. But for as many trips as they had in the red zone and for them to walk away with no touchdowns, no trips inside the end zone, all them times they was inside the 5-yard line and they was missing the easiest of throws or they couldn't scrape up a couple of yards just to get into that paint and dirt. It's like, at what point are we going to sit up here and just understand how disappointing that was? Yeah. Because that's just, as an NFL franchise or any football team, when you're that close to the end zone and you can't get in and you settle for 3, field goals don't win you games. And it's pitiful.
No, for sure.
And I think, too, when they down there on that, red zone, 20 on in, and especially as close as they were going for on that 4th down, throwing that ball to Jettas, and he dropped that pass. I think that's a little disheartening for the team as well to be able to come back to that sideline, know you didn't take advantage of your opportunity, and ask your defense to go back out there and stop those guys over and over. So, the Vikings kind of disappointed me with their play this weekend. They got multiple opportunities to show it up and play again this weekend. I think they're playing on Monday against the Rams, so we'll see. But I definitely thought they would come out and at least put a better output out, considering they were fighting for the number 1 seed as well as home field advantage. So we'll see how it goes.
Me personally, I thought it would be a closer game. I didn't expect it to be a blowout.
Not at all.
30, and we had the Vikings winning this game. I think we wanted them to be number 1. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We talked about that last episode. So it's honestly crazy to see them get blew out 31-9, and they're a very talented squad. But obviously, it was an off night for Sam Darnold. He looked like he was out there seeing ghosts. The man was 18 for 41, had 166 passing yards. That's unlike him. That's probably like the worst game he's had this season. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. By far.
Yeah, for sure. And Jared Goff, he was 27 for 33.
And they played him well the first time. So, there's no doubt in my mind that they can compete with those guys.
And to be fair, the game,
it's honestly like an off game.
Yeah, to be fair, the game was still like relatively close up until that second half. Once they missed that field goal, then it was just all bets were off at that point.
Yeah. 3 field goals, man, that's crazy. And the Lions have the talent, but not the Lions, the
Vikings.
The Vikings had the talent. So it's like Sam Darnold got to make those throws, man. It's like some of those were catchable. They were, you know what I'm saying? But I understand like how it is being on the field. Sometimes you miss time a pass, you know what I'm saying? Hand placement might be a little off. So like that's very important. Like, that's something to consider. You know what I mean? But he has to make those throws, and the receivers, they have to make those catches, man. Like it's some of those things that like they could have caught that. You know what I'm saying? He threw some passes that were catchable, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, you're not going to make every catch.
I believe at the end of the day, I feel like the Vikings tried to play Detroit's game. And I feel like that's where they screwed up at. Detroit is the most aggressive team in the league. They go for it on fourth down. They're the number one fourth down. Like, they go for it on fourth down the most in the NFL. And Minnesota is the least. They're the least aggressive team on fourth down. So it's just the fact that they play outside of their game, outside of their comfort, because they were trying to keep up with Detroit, and eventually they ended up getting them beat instead of you taking your points. And instead, I mean, the run game is never going to be there. I mean, I think all NFL teams need to see this video right now. That run game is not going to be there playing Detroit. They stuff it with no matter who's in there. Me, Big Cam, Versea. They're not running on Detroit. It don't matter.
Aaron Glenn, man.
Hey, Aaron Glenn, you will be a head coach, man. And obviously, we done. Hey, New Orleans not a bad.
Lions, I'm capitalizing on this playoff run because, truth be told, I think both those coordinators are gone after this year. Only person I could potentially see coming back is Ben Johnson.
Hell
if he doesn't get a ideal situation for himself, but
he got teams looking at him already. He already going to talk to teams.
I think him and Aaron Glenn are both gone. So if I'm the Lions, I'm trying to capitalize on this window right now. Go get the big one, call it a day. But I mean, the way the Lions look right now, shit, I think they could beat the Chiefs. To be honest.
Nah, the Lions look like the best team in the NFL, man. They don't even look close.
They could beat the Chiefs.
I think it's the most impressive thing that how they look out there with all these backups. Like these guys weren't the guy they're starting 11 on that opposite side of the ball. So the fact that they went out there against a high potent offense that done went week in and week out against some of the great. I mean, they just beat the hell out of Green Bay.
For sure.
I mean, and actually that was a really good team prior to the previous 2 weeks. Obviously, them lose to Chicago as well, but. Detroit showed grit. They showed toughness. They
wanted the game more. They wanted this.
Yeah, they showed versatility that I didn't think that they had with the guys in their locker room, and I feel like that is a Super Bowl champion right there.
Nah, for sure. Okay, on to the next topic, man. So we see the Broncos that made the playoffs and the Bengals that missed it. So what's what's y'all thoughts on that?
I think it was a travesty that we couldn't see Joe Burrow and the Bengals in the playoffs. And I know them starting off slow every single year, we're going to get them hurt at one of these seasons. But goddamn, I mean, we had the number one pass. He was number one in passing yards, number one in touchdown. We had the Triple Crown winner, and we had the sack leader, all on that same team. And yet they still couldn't make it. Yeah. Now, I know that defense was piss poor. I know the defense wasn't good at all in any aspect whatsoever. But the last 5 weeks, they locked down. Despite playing against vulnerable opponents, offensive opponents at least. I think they played Steelers. I think they played Denver. They played the Titans. They played the Browns. And they played, it's one more team on the top
Cowboys?
And the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So not any offenses that you want to write home about, of course. But I think Denver is a little more of an easier out. Not to say that they're easy at all because that defense is a top 5 unit. But I feel like what the fans want to see, who would have gave Mahomes and Allen and Lamar that big scare, that damn, like, I can't just, like, this ain't no cakewalk. It's like, damn, like, we realistically got an opportunity to lose to these guys. And I feel like we missed out on seeing Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and the rest of the cats go out there and really give the AFC a scare. And they could have potentially shooken stuff up if they had the opportunity. But obviously, if you don't take care of your business in the beginning of the season, this will happen to you.
You're going to have to fight it up.
What's the name of the game?
Wins and losses.
Hey, wins and losses, man. If you don't win, I don't really care about what you got to say, to be honest.
They say you can't win, you can't get in.
Come on, yeah. And I definitely, of course, I agree. I would love to see Joe Burrow in the playoffs. Him, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all those guys go out there. But, hey, who says the Broncos can't win it all? Who says they can't go out there and compete? Bo Nix looked pretty good last week to me. Man. And I know they played I don't want to say depleted, but I would say a team that was not at their full force with the Chiefs last week.
And let me not let you off the hook with that. The Chiefs, y'all are some words I can't say on camera, but y'all know what y'all did. Because there's no way on God green earth that y'all went out there and scored 0 points. Like, y'all were literally out there playing to lose. Like, y'all didn't want... And I feel like...
Carson Wentz looks so trash.
No, but I feel like it was more the fact that they told him to go out there and do that. I don't feel like it was just him playing trash. I feel like it was like, okay, we really know how dangerous the Chiefs are. I mean, we really know how dangerous the Bengals are. We do not want these guys in the playoffs at all because they have the realistic chance if they win this first game in the playoffs.
So
They're going to Kansas City because if they would have won that game, they would have been the 7th seed and they would have had to play Kansas City in the second round. And Kansas City wanted no parts of that, so they told them guys.
They didn't want to see.
Yes, exactly. They told them guys to go out there and bullshit, go out there and chill, like nigga, like. This is the one game you can be trash, and they scored 0 points. Like, do we realistically think Carson Wentz he couldn't score a point? He couldn't get them in field goal range.
To be honest, I kind of like the Broncos. Now,
over the Bengals?
Not over the Bengals, not at all. But I think going in the playoffs, Sean Payton, calling those plays, working with Bo Nix, I think they got the Bills first round. I don't want to foreshadow, but I mean, I don't think it'll be a cakewalk like we think it'll be.
No, not at all.
Bills. I see the Bills maybe winning by 10 points or so, but I definitely think Sean Payton has Bo Nix playing at a high level. Cortland Sutton. I like their tight end Vele.
Mims. That boy Mims. Nice. Mims.
I don't think we sleep on them, but I definitely think they'll go out there and compete.
I want to show love to Denver because, I mean, like, the old saying is you are what your record shows you.
Yeah.
And for the Bengals, I mean, as impressive and as eye-catching as that offensive year was for them and for what Trey Hendrickson did for that defense, they were mediocre at best when they come to all these slow starts from year on and year in. Everything just kind of crumbled at the worst possible time for them. I mean, this is their identity. This is who they've been for the longest, and now we just had to kind of accept that. Yeah. For the Broncos, I didn't think that they would be a playoff caliber team. I thought that the Chargers would be better than them. Obviously, we all thought the Chiefs would be better than them. I personally thought the Raiders was going to be better than them, and they shut me up. For what Sean Payton was able to do in Denver after that whole debacle with Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett and turning that franchise around. I mean, last year they was in a position to compete for a playoff spot, and they sat Russ. Because they ain't want that.
Don't get me wrong. I want to say they might be like $40 million over the cap with that Russell Wilson contract with the dead money.
Yeah.
So they were limited on the guys they could bring in.
And look at what those guys are doing.
I seen
making plays.
I seen a post on Twitter today that said Justin Simmons left the Broncos when he played for the Falcons, thinking they would make the playoffs. The Falcons missed the playoffs, and Justin Simmons and the Broncos made it this year. So
Simmons,
the Broncos are. That's a low key good team.
That's a couple more offensive weapons around them. I like Cortland Sutton, but he's not like no top guy.
He ain't your one.
Yeah, but
he getting older.
A couple more receivers.
Man, I like Nick Benito too. I like Benito.
Benito's nice. Sure, he's a defensive player of the year candidate.
Yeah,
sure. They may have the defensive player of the year in Patrick Surtain.
It's a talented squad for sure, and for as disappointing as what the Bengals were, because I did predict them to go to the playoffs. I think it's even more shocking and, for the lack of better words, impressive what Sean Payton and Bo Nix was able to do. I mean, hell, a lot of people thought that Bo Nix would be one of the worst quarterbacks in the first round of this draft class. I mean, shit, he's going to steal votes away from Jaden Daniels for Rookie of the Year. I think that's impressive as hell.
Yeah, well deserved.
He was playing pretty bad at the beginning of the season. He wasn't doing what he's doing now.
I think it's safe to say that rookie class, I don't want to foreshadow nothing, but I think as of right now, we can all say that they went 5 for 5 in the first round. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr. I think they all look really solid.
Yeah, they do.
I think I want a bigger sample size for Drake and for Penix, but those don't look like misses right now.
No, they don't.
Drake May gonna be nice.
Drake May,
I think so too.
Good, bro.
He just need. I think he need an offensive coach come in there and kind of give him that game plan a little bit. But
hey,
I got some. The Patriots aren't trash to me. I just think they haven't put it all together yet.
Hey, I'm gonna get to that point later.
Yeah, we got a whole topic on that.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
no, for sure. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's very disappointing to see the Bengals miss, especially with the historic season that Joe Burrow just had and Jamar Chase and Trey Henderson. So it's like it sucks. You know what I'm saying? But I like that the Broncos are in there. I ain't gonna lie, they're a sneaky good team. Like, do not sleep on the Broncos. I feel like they are a very good team, bro. They're number 1 in sacks, and they're ranked 3rd in fewest points allowed. Like, that defense is something serious, bro. They're pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? And when that offense is rolling, y'all, we've all seen what they can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a pretty damn good offense. You know what I mean? So, I ain't gonna lie, like, I'm kind of glad to see like the AFC West is is
Picking
doing what
up.
it's not just the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
Chargers in there.
Excluding the Raiders, y'all,
excluding
y'all,
the Raiders,
y'all doing y'all thing for sure.
No, I ain't gonna lie. Like the Raiders, their record is not gonna show it, but they're a decent.
They're
team.
scrappy.
That's what
I'll
I'm
give
saying.
them
They
that.
defense scrappy as fuck. Like I'm like when we played against them, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, why we in the game with them? You know what I'm saying?
And their
Like,
offense got guys too for what it's worth. Nothing to write home about.
Jacoby
them.
Myers just touched 1,000 yards, bro. What?
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Ain't had
saying.
nobody else over there. I mean, Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers, I mean, shit.
Brock Bowers a dog. Shout out Brock Bowers, man.
Nah, for sure, man. Man, so on to the next topic. We see Tyreek Hill once out of Miami, man. Is that foul or is that fair what he's doing?
That
your
is
thoughts on that?
foul. I mean, I can't stand players nowadays. I mean, it's already hard enough as is to get the amount of money that you want. But not only you getting the amount of money that you want, but now you complain about a situation that you knew that you had before signing that big contract and begging for the restructure of your deal. I mean, Tyreek Hill looking no less than a clown. Nothing short than a clown. I mean, from his incidents with the police being arrogant, I mean, obviously we don't got to, relive that, but that plays a factor in it as well. If you want somebody like that character on your team, I mean, his play this year, I mean, obviously the quarterback situation is one thing, I mean, but you knew Tua Tagovailoa has an injury history dating back to college. So the fact that you're upset that you're not getting the same results that you're getting with Kansas City and you going for down there 2,000 yards and catch all these explosive touchdowns and doing all that, and it's all decreased. I mean, duh. I mean, whoever thought that Tua Tagovailoa was anywhere close to Patrick Mahomes? He was going to give you anywhere near the opportunities Patrick Mahomes ever gave you. But also on top of that, I mean, quitting in the middle of a game. Well, you still have playoff aspirations. You still have playoff hopes. I mean, obviously he may have seen or heard from the sideline like, hey, like the Broncos killed him. Like, y'all don't got a chance. And he maybe quit on, because of that. But that's still no excuse to go out there and quit on your team. You getting paid millions of dollars to play a game that I'm pretty sure it's millions of Americans out there that'll die to be in your position. And you quit on the middle of your team because of what? Because you got Tyler Huntley in the game that's not getting you the ball and not giving you the touches that you want. Like, that is not, he's nothing short but a coward. I think Tyreek Hill, I think if the Dolphins know what's good for him, I think you trade him for, this is probably the highest value that he's going to have outside of his, off-field stuff because, he's 30. I mean, people don't get better after 30, and especially speedsters. I mean, speed goes down. If he continues to be as fast as what he is, I mean, God blessed him. But him missing practice, saying that he was sick, just for him to go on TikTok live at his own shop in Miami, I mean, it's too much. He has too much control in that organization. And, I mean, it don't matter how good of a talent he is, he's a part of that losing team. He was going to be the make or break factor on why they made the playoffs and they didn't. And unfortunately, they didn't. And now he's pouted and he wanted to change the scenery for some stuff that he signed up for.
Nah, for sure. I agree with you. I definitely think that was foul on Tyreek Hill's part. You always, taught to start what you finish. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, saying Mahomes was comparable to Tua, first and foremost. But just doing research, I think he had 1,700 yards last year. This year, I want to say he finished with like 844.
No, he finished with 959.
959. So that's almost a 600-yard drop-off in production. I think he caught maybe 170-some balls last year. This year, he caught like 122, 123, don't quote me. But the production for me, obviously, I think Tua had like 10 or 11 starts this year compared to, I want to say maybe 13 or 14 last year. So, I mean, he played a couple games without his starting quarterback, but overall, I mean, if I'm throwing you the ball, it shouldn't be a 700, 800-yard drop-off. I definitely think the production wasn't there to warrant that type of behavior with what he did. I don't care if whoever's in the game, you still got to go out there and fight for your team. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm not pursuing, I'm not rushing, I'm not going out of my way to try to accommodate him. I saw he was in the building the next day for exit meetings, which lets me know he's still in it from that standpoint. But if I'm the Dolphins, I definitely don't try to accommodate Tyreek Hill in any sort of type of way. If they find a trade that's viable for them and it makes sense, then I would do it. But overall, I think Tyreek Hill, what more can you ask for? We gave you your money. You're in your home state. You're in Miami.
Yeah.
We asked you to come out here and compete at a high level every week, and you came out and you produced what you produced. So I don't think it is anything that the Dolphins did to Tyreek. I think he's just mad with the way his season went, how it turned out, how the team turned out. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he's back next year. So if I'm the Dolphins, I'm not rushing for a trade. I'm not going out seeking a trade on his behalf. I think you sit back, let him get over it. If we can't figure it out, then we listen to trade calls.
I mean, but the drops are just like, I mean, he's dropping, bro.
Yeah.
The amount of drop passes that he had this year was astronomical. And they was on national live television where everybody's seeing that you're in front of the whole USA and you embarrassing yourself and you going out there trying to embarrass your team. Like, I can't stand people like that. They only want to be a part of something when it's good, but when it's not,
Front runner.
yeah, it's a front runner to the T.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Tyreek is. That you can't never spoil somebody.
The perfect way to analyze the fact that he's front running is him being pissed off at the fact that this is his first year never playing in the playoffs. Like when he mentioned that to that reporter earlier in the reports, it was like, damn, like this man is so entitled.
Yeah.
Like for you to be in a position where you have any stretch of limited success and want out, that just tells me all I need to know about your character, about how you're not really willing to go through the mud and deal with the downfalls and pitfalls that a team normally has. I mean, there's players that play their entire careers and never sniffed the postseason once.
Yeah.
There's franchises that never sniffed a playoff win, let alone multiple Super Bowls or a Super Bowl ring, all pros, Pro Bowls, all that type of stuff.
Any type of recognition.
And for you to get to a point where you in a position where you have a bad season by your standards, by the team standards, and you want out just because of that, that's a bad look, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Absolutely.
Nah, for sure, man. I think it's very selfish of him, man. It's not. There's no type of professionalism at all. You know what I'm saying? Like we just said, man. There are people that will kill to be not kill, but there are people that want to be in your position.
They will kill.
They will kill.
They will, you know what I'm saying? They'll
kill for the millions.
Nah, for real, they'll kill to be in your position, man. Like you making that amount of money and you playing. You're in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? That's a blessing.
In Miami.
Nah, for real.
Playing a child's game.
Yeah, in Miami.
But it's just like unprofessional as hell. As a professional, man, there's a way that you should, uphold yourself, especially you're a professional athlete. You don't never sit on the sideline, a coach talking to you, and you're not looking at him, not paying him attention. You know what I'm saying? You're doing this. Like, you don't do that, bro. That's, in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? You're just ungrateful, you know what I'm saying? I know you're a talented receiver.
He said, I'll bust him in the mouth if he do that with me.
But it's just like, you know what I'm saying? You acting like a high schooler, you know what I'm saying? That's just like, it's making it seem like you're uncoachable, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, there's ways to go about it, and this isn't the way. But on to the next topic, man. We see them playoffs, man. Hey, playoff predictions, man. So we gonna get into it. AFC, man. We got the Texans versus the Chargers, man. So what y'all thinking?
Chargers.
Man, before I get into my stuff, man, I just want I'm a realist,
Y'all getting that ass whooped.
but baby, I'm a Texans fan. I'm a diehard Texans fan. So without further ado, man, I'm gonna choose the Texans. I'm gonna choose the Texans in the. I'm gonna choose the Texans in the 23-20 game. Rashad Slater, he's listed as questionable. What's the injury?
He's back, but it was his knee.
Yeah, well,
He's back.
but
Well,
he was out last. He was out last week. He's on the injury report.
Yeah.
So that's why I said it.
He had like a little. He was getting an MRI on his knee.
Man, but I mean, Texans main priority is to win this game, man. Stop Lad McConkey. Lad McConkey is the main source of offense. I feel like with us, I feel like it's more of an even matchup than what people want to say. I know the Chargers scored 34 last 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Very impressed. I mean, I don't want to knock him because I got a Charger fan right here. A little sensitive.
No, you good. Tell him how you feel. Let's tell him how you feel. Tell him how you feel. It's all good.
Oh,
bro.
trust me. No. I'm gonna tell you how you feel. But I mean, Herbert. The line is a solid line. He got pressured at an average rate. But he hasn't faced against the cats that we got coming at him. I mean, Will Anderson with 11 sacks, Danielle Hunter with 12 sacks. We're fourth in the league in sacks with 40. How many sacks do we have? We have 49, fourth most in the league. Turnover rate, I mean, we second in the league in picks in 19. I mean, our defense is serious. They come to play every single day. It's just
most definitely.
what you going to get out of the offense. Is the offense going to come block? I know the Chargers, y'all are the highest scoring defense in the league. Yeah. I know y'all are a top 10 unit. But I think the keys in order to win this game is Bobby Slowick, you have to dial up a good plan. We have to. We have to get Nico involved early. We got to get him involved often. Deontay Johnson, we got him a little incorporated last week. CJ looked good in his little stretch in the game. 6 of 6, 50 yards, threw a touchdown to Nico. We got everybody 1,000 yards. A good little feeling going into the playoff. Yeah. But against the Chargers, we have to limit Herbert. We can't let Herbert beat us. The receivers are, subpar at best. Outside of Lad McConkey, I don't really see anybody else as a threat. I think we're obviously really good against the run, so I'm not really too concerned about J.K. Dobbins or they signed Ezekiel Elliott, Cam Boy.
He's a third down.
At this point, I'm terrified.
He's a third down.
I actually read that he's
red zone type of guy.
I actually read he's probably gonna be our number 2 back this week.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Gus Edwards still hurt.
Gus Edwards hurt. I heard Vital and the other guy are gonna take less snaps. Me personally, I think it'll be a really good game, but I think the Chargers pull it out just off of. I think offensively they got a little bit more. They're a little bit more, what I could say, versatile. Texans wise, don't get me wrong, y'all defense is crazy. I definitely think offensively, if y'all want to win, it's gonna be on Nico. I think Derwin James is gonna shut Dalton Schultz down.
John Schultz gonna shut himself down.
Yeah, I think Joe Mixon. I think it's gonna be on Joe Mixon, Nico Collins' hands. O-line, y'all O-line. Every time I watch the Texans, it's that O-line. Yeah. So if that O-line can figure out what they need to do, I think it'll be a competitive game, but I'm gonna take the Chargers. I think it'll be close. I'll go 23-20.
Let me get into this, man. Okay. I know I give them a lot of crap about the fucking Texans. I like the Texans. that's probably like the second team I like because I live in Houston and shit, and they give me like a lot of insight on the Texans. And I like what I see from them. But top. You know, you say top. But it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a gritty game. You know what I'm saying? Very defensive. Do I feel like we can win this game? The Chargers, yes. I feel like we can win this game, but we have to capitalize. We have to capitalize on offense. Like, we can't have this, you know what I'm saying, we getting these, like, we taking too long to snap the ball. You know what I'm saying? And the clock. Bro, what?
It's because I seen it today. That's why it's even more funny.
Yeah, bro. What the hell you
God damn it!
Nah, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Offense, y'all have to stay on their ass. You know what I'm saying? Tire them boys out with the run. You know what I'm saying? They're a great run defense. But if we lean on J.K. Dobbins a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, like, tire him out with that run offense.
Did J.K. Dobbins touch 1K this year?
Hell no.
He had 900 something right now.
900,
yeah, 900. Yeah,
that ain't bad.
9.
I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah,
I feel like if you go by Omari logic, sure, you gonna run him right to the hospital. I promise you.
I mean, no. Let me cook. Let me keep on talking. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying. Run the ball, but you know what I'm saying? Great Roman, like, call up some good plays. I see what you did against New England. See what you did against the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing that. I mean, the Raiders, they defense is scrappy, bro.
Yeah.
And they look, you know what I'm saying?
The Raiders are trash. Come on.
I mean,
come on, man. They trash.
Not the Pats.
Like Justin Herbert said, bro, like, their record doesn't depict who they are, bro. They're a talented team. That's what he said.
Who? I'm asking who?
The Raiders?
I mean, sure. Of course you gonna say that way that you beat them.
They got some guys. Nah, yeah, he probably being nice, but but if we want to win this game, man, we have to capitalize on offense. Defensively, I'm not too worried about that because if we shut Joe Mixon down, you know what I'm saying. All they got is Nico. We could stack 2 on Nico. You know what I'm saying? Like
Deontay Johnson will be big for the Texans.
That's what I'm saying. Now
I know y'all seen that comeback route this weekend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Really nice. Man.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like if we shut down Nico and Joe Mixon, you know what I'm saying, y'all gonna have to rely on Deontay, and I know they probably not too worried about it.
Texas,
but I feel like Jesse Minter, like y'all, like he's gonna catch everything that y'all are doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does. He's that type of defensive coordinator to where like y'all running, y'all plays and everything like that. And he adjusts like that quick, and I've seen him do it in the games. I've seen our defense just adjust and lock shit up. You know what I mean?
What's your record?
11-6.
That's respectable. What's the Texans' record?
10-7.
Respectable. Respectable.
And three-point underdogs is. I mean, I understand that we ain't been playing too well, but the Chargers. I mean, we're 3-point underdogs at home.
Playing at home.
But you know what the crazy
No,
thing
they got
is?
y'all winning the game.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Nah.
No, they don't.
I seen something where they had.
Who?
I swear I seen that shit like on
They must have been diehard
Hey,
Texans
what?
fans.
I don't know.
But nah,
Why
you
y'all
know.
so shocked?
I mean, I'm not sure.
I'm not
I'm
shocked.
saying it's a very
okay.
But
respectable.
you know what is shocking though? You know why I'm so shocked? It's because of the fact that we was in this position last year with the Browns and that all-world defense
And we
and that
love it.
quarterback that was rejuvenated. And what do we do to him?
Y'all came out there and smacked.
We came out there and smacked that ass.
You did.
But we not the Browns.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
I
true.
think
Worse.
And
Nah, it's fine.
We blew the Browns out. I ain't great about that. I feel like hold on. I'm gonna finish and I'm gonna let you talk. But nah, like,
You better
cause it's like I'm talking about my team, so it's like I want to go and
he
but nah,
passionate.
I'm excited, bro. Nah, but offensively, man, we have to capitalize. Like if the O-line, interior O-line at that, if y'all could just block and let her make a play, we got it. We got it. We let our receivers get open. We seen what Quentin Johnston can do. You know what I'm saying? He had a great game last game. So we need him to bring that. I need you to bring that into the playoffs against the Texans. I mean, they probably going to put Stingley on him. They probably going to have him, like, shadow a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Who? Quentin Johnson?
Yeah, they don't have him shadow. They don't have him shadow. But he can get open, though. He can get open.
You think?
I'm not saying he gonna cook. I'm not saying he gonna cook.
Wait, you think a top 3 quarterback finna shadow Quentin Johnson? Are
Probably,
you serious?
probably not. I don't know. But,
Are you serious?
But y'all have 2 good ass corners.
Bro,
Yeah,
if
serious.
anything, I would.
Hey, it's possible. Nah,
Hey,
but like,
I
if
would
we
say Stingley would shadow Lad McConkey.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say shadow Quinn. I mean, whoever saw Quinn on, that's the corner. You go get him.
I say
right.
Joshua Palmer before.
Joshua
Hey,
Palmer hurt.
what?
He's hurt.
He
He might need
questionable.
to play.
But I'm saying like off of the performance he just had, they probably gonna, you know what I mean? Either way, they might.
They
have
I
play-
got Will Disley too. I like Will Disley.
They probably, yeah, he's a good check.
But y'all played the Raiders though. They're trying to tank for draft position, so we can't take too much stock into that.
I mean, we can take stock into that. We scored more than y'all did against the Ravens. Y'all lost to the Titans, and we blew them out. Yeah, like y'all struggled against teams that y'all shouldn't be struggling against. And
All right,
it's like
that's the
us.
NFL.
Nobody's
though.
saying we haven't.
This the
Yeah.
NFL, but
Yeah, that's the
we,
NFL.
We blew these teams out. I feel like we got a chance to win. I feel like it's just to shorten it up. I feel like we're gonna win. Like it's gonna be a game. It's gonna be.
So
like
what is your score
23
prediction?
to 24.
23-24.
Yeah,
And you
I
got
can say
us
that.
winning by how much?
No, I got the Chargers. I don't have the Texans winning. I don't know. Y'all offense just doesn't look. I'm telling you, if we can, y'all defense is elite, but it's like the past games has been kind of like shaky. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all have a great defense, but it's just like I don't know. I don't know. It's like they're. It's a little shaky at times, man. But I got us winning that game.
Hey, my CDS family, we might go TikTok live for that. I don't know. Hopefully we don't get banned.
Yeah,
But
TikTok really.
we'll give you first hand reactions with a Chargers fan and a Texas fan. Hopefully, if he not at the game, he could be on it as well.
Hey,
But
bolt up, baby. I'm here. I
Man,
ain't tripping. I'll touch it.
I say it'll be a very, very close game. I also feel like a gut feeling telling me that it's gonna be low scoring. I don't think it'll be a shootout whatsoever. I don't even think a team touches 20. And that's just me keeping
It might be 10-17.
That's my prediction.
10-17.
That's my prediction. But even though you spoiled it,
damn.
I'll explain. I think this game will kind of come down to the battle of the trenches. Like whoever wins that line of scrimmage, and you could say that about any NFL game or any football game in general, but at the end of the day, it is imperative for this one because that's the strength of each team. Yeah. Like their offensive line is fairly talented. Our defense is extremely talented in our front seven. And then our weakness is the offensive line, and they got some guys on the defensive side of the ball too that can take advantage if we give them the opportunity. Thanks. So for us,
y'all will give them opportunity.
Wait, Charles. But I'm gonna say this, and I want you to continue going. I don't want to know how How the heck?
You good.
I just want to know how the heck Khalil Mack made the Pro Bowl with 5.5 sacks. We got a guy in Houston, Daniil Hunter, with 12 sacks. That's an alternate. That you can continue going, but that's criminal. That's insane to me.
That is crazy. That's influence right there. That's just off
Forget
popularity.
Forget influence and popularity. That's just people not adjusting to the day of the times.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a guy like Will Anderson that was in Defensive Player of the Year conversations for a little while, and probably would have gotten it if he ain't missed those games that he did. But for whatever it's worth, I think the Texans, we have to be creative on the offensive side of the ball because our defense is going to hold their ground. They've done it for the entirety of the season, and we just haven't been able to capitalize. How many teams do we have to hold to tear multiple turnovers and force them into terrible situations just for our offense to settle? I think we had the opportunity to do something special in this game. Would that be for the entirety of the playoffs? I mean, that would be a prayer for all of us, or at least for me and you.
For sure.
But for at least this wild card game, we've been underdogs before. We've pretty much been there for a good chunk of the season in a lot of games. We especially were against the Bills. We were against the Lions, and we seen how that went. And I think
2 underdog teams going at it, man.
2 underdog teams going at it, but only one can prevail. I think it'll also be a chess match between the
quarterbacks.
Forget the quarterbacks, the coaching staff. I mean, that defense versus Jim Harbaugh's ground and pound, that'll be interesting as hell.
I'm telling you, bro.
But 17-10, the long way.
He don't believe that. Nah, I'm playing.
Come on, man.
Hey, and then so I really feel like the quarterbacks gonna have to do a lot. I really do. I feel like this game, I know Justin Herbert, he gets a lot of criticism because everybody say he not like that because of the shit that happened with Jacksonville. I mean, that was just horrible coaching. When we all know that. We all know
Herbert like that.
That's going to be a big
I don't think that was ever a misunderstanding.
That's a big monkey.
It sometimes is. Like a lot of people, they try to clown Justin Herbert because of what happened with Jacksonville.
That's a big monkey he got to get off his back.
That's
sure.
Yeah, bro. So I feel like Justin Herbert has to come into this. He's been playing. He has had a great season, bro. He's had a great season. But this is the time, forget the regular season. This playoffs, you got to play to win, man. And I believe in Justin Herbert. I believe in our offense. I believe in our defense. I feel like we can win this game. But Justin Herbert, bro, I need you to go out here and ball. You ain't got to throw for 300 and all that. You know what I'm saying? I just need you to, you know what I'm saying, capitalize, make great throws like you've been doing. You know what I'm saying? That's all we have to do. And I feel like the same thing with CJ, bro. I feel like if y'all get him going, you know what I'm saying, we might be in trouble. Because once CJ is on, he got his confidence and everything like that. But I feel like our D line is gonna get to y'all. I feel like they're gonna get to CJ, bro.
All right, so score predictions. We got 17-10 Charles Texans way. We got me 23-20 Texans. We got Boy Sandman 23-24 Chargers, and we got Cam.
I'm going 23-22.
22.
No, I'm saying 23-20.
Oh.
As well, I'm sorry. Yeah. 23-20 as well.
So we got 3-1 Texans set up
here.
You
say Texas or Chargers?
No, I'm going to go Chargers.
You know what? Just for this week alone, I'm not going to use no computers, no laptops, no phones, no nothing. You want to know why? Why? Because I don't fuck with Chargers.
I'm trying to think of something right now. That was a good little... That was cool.
You can think of the next game, my brother. You can think of
we don't fuck with the Bulls. We don't fuck with the Bulls
because we can't wait till we get on the pod and your season is over.
We're not ready.
So you don't like Chicago?
That's a Bull, isn't it?
Okay, so you don't like Chicago? That don't got nothing to do with
That's a Bull. No, I'm talking about that on your shirt.
All right.
We're not fucking with the Bulls, man. No Chicago. But next game, man, we have the Steelers versus the Ravens, man. Who do y'all have in that game? Why? And what is y'all score prediction?
I think Ravens belt to ass.
Come on now.
Dang.
I'm
trying.
I'm trying. Ass not bad. Ass not. Yeah.
I think it's straight built to behind.
Yeah.
BTB. Yeah. BTA for sure. I think the Steelers is a dysfunctional team, man. I think George Pickens, this weekend, if they improve anything else, man, 0 catches. 1 catch, 0 yards.
He was true.
Yeah, he was on some shit.
And me and Cam had the pleasure of watching him at a bar embarrassing us.
You feel like the top 10? You still feel like he top 10?
Who?
You had him top 5.
Top 5, my bad.
Who had
Nah,
him top five?
I had the backtrack. You remember I came back and I said it was Puka.
Wait, who said
I said Pickens was top 5 at a point in time, and then I had the backtrack. I was like, hold on, I would put.
what was going on at that point in time?
Hey,
Nah, but I think I'm taking this game is 34-17. I
That's
think
crazy. I was gonna say the same thing.
I think Baltimore is a more superior team. I think they have the cohesion going together. I think Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry on the ground. I mean, it's what can you do?
I think Baltimore gonna come out focused.
Zay Flowers'
Lamar
availability is a
Jackson.
big thing as well too.
I don't even think Zay Flowers gonna matter this game, to be honest. I think Lamar Jackson coming in the playoffs knows what's at stake, on the verge of possibly winning another MVP. Given how their season went last year, getting sent home, I think they come out focused. I think they come out ready. Y'all ain't got nothing. Well, I'm not gonna say y'all. The Steelers don't have nothing for Derrick Henry. You stop Derrick Henry, we got Lamar Jackson. You stop Lamar Jackson, they got Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, Isaiah Likely. The list goes on and on. I don't think it'll be a close game at all.
Yeah, I think
I'm going 34-17 too.
I think high scoring game as well. I think it shouldn't be a contest. I think Russell Wilson had really regressed from the point where he was undefeated to now. I feel like the running game is just non-existent. I mean, offensive line. I mean, you invest so many draft picks into that offensive line. I know they got Broderick Jones out of Georgia. I know they got the guard out of where did he come out? I think it was Iowa State. I don't want to be wrong on that, but I believe it's Iowa State, the guard that they got in this previous draft. I mean, they invested in that line, and the fact that they can't force a push to at least get Najee going with at least 2 to 3 yards of carry to set up a play action game or anything of that nature is really disappointing.
If the Steelers lose, do you fire Mike Tomlin?
No, God, hell
no.
They said if you fire him, he getting picked up like that.
But why not?
That's one of the best coaches in the league.
We're
bro.
going to get to the Eagles, but if the Eagles lose, you firing Sirianni?
That's one of the.
One team.
I'll consider it.
You entertain that?
I consider it. I think the Eagles keeping Sirianni is much more likely than the Steelers keeping Tomlin.
The Steelers
outside
Tomlin done some stuff though, man.
Now, granted, Mike Tomlin, great coach, never had a losing season. I think they've made the playoffs every year, maybe except one. Don't quote me on it. But 2 AFC championships, a Super Bowl. They've been mediocre since. So,
I'd say this, not to cut you off, but it's like I don't think that's in the Steelers' MO. Like for as long as they've been a franchise, they've only had 3 coaches.
yeah.
So they gonna get the lion's share of the tenure for sure.
So do you not consider firing Mike Tomlin if they lose?
Never.
Who do you is the grass greener?
I mean, you
No,
got
it's not.
you do
Yo,
have.
on the other side?
I mean, you do have.
No, and honestly, I'm gonna be real. I don't think it's Mike Tomlin's fault. I just think the Steelers are too good, and they compete every year. They're gonna have to always be, kind of like a Band-Aid type of quarterback situation.
They can't get a top
They can't get a top
quarterback.
pick because
they
they win so many games every year. So regardless if they lose this weekend,
Unless they trade up.
it's gonna be the same situation. They're gonna get rid of Russell Wilson. I don't think they bring him back. If they do, maybe on a 1-year contract, depending on how the playoffs go.
Yeah.
But I think you get rid of Russ, you might bring in another Band-Aid quarterback. I could see the Jets letting go of A-Rod. A-Rod going to Pittsburgh.
There's rumors he might retire
I could
this
see
year,
that.
though.
I could see that happen as a possibility. So for me, the Steelers kind of like the same old story. It doesn't matter what they do, how far they go. It's going to be the same situation every year. They're going to play well. They're going to make the playoffs. They win too many games to get a high draft pick.
Yeah.
You don't want to give up any draft picks to get somebody in a decent trade. So I think the Steelers are kind of stuck in like la la land, almost no man's land.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. You know, so if
Ben.
I'm the Steelers,
Big Ben.
why not consider?
And it's crazy too because like the Steelers and the Texans were in the same boat of being 2 teams that were sputtering heading into the playoffs. But the thing is, with the Steelers, it's like when you compare them to the Texans got a pick-me-up. Like we messed around and beat the Titans, got a feel-good win that's gonna help us win this home game. The Steelers literally lost their division and they messed around and now they have to go on the road. Now granted, I don't think they would want to face anyone other than the Ravens because of the fact that is a divisional game. Like you're gonna see that opponent for the 3rd time in the season, which is rare. But for them to go up against a buzzsaw like Baltimore, I don't see how they do it. Their offense been sputtering for the longest part. and on the defensive side of the ball, they can only do so much. I mean, like, they held Joe Burrow and company to 19 points, and they still found a way to lose. So it's like,
I think the Steelers are built off of big plays and checkdowns. Like, if you're gonna throw it deep to Pickens, get the crowd going a little bit, get the offense in high power,
Get that energy
turn
going.
up a little bit, get the energy, and then after that, they're gonna throw a couple checks down to Warren. Russell Wilson gonna run for 8, gonna run for 9. Fryer move might get a 12-yard pass here and there. I don't think they just have a consistent offense to be able to compete at that level in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then when you're seeing defenses like the Ravens, and you beat the Ravens, you gotta go see the Bills. And if you beat the Bills, you might see the Chiefs.
Or the Texans.
Yeah. But but I don't see them, competing at that level, and I don't think it's Mike Tomlin's fault. But when you're that coach, they're gonna look at you before they look at those players. So I think I consider it if I'm the Steelers owner, but I don't think it gets any better than the situation they're already in. The Steelers are too good every year to be able to go, tank and get a quarterback or whatever they need to do. So I feel like the situation is going to continue to be the same until they're able to find, either a coach that's going to figure it out for them, or they're going to have that season where they're able to go out and get that top quarterback. So,
and the fact that they even in that position where they're as good as they are without having a consistent top pick in the draft is honestly kind of incredible.
And to be honest, I really don't think it's always the Steelers defense. Them boys over there are always, from TJ to Joey Porter to Cam Hayward to
They always gonna
they got
defensive
to Minka
players.
Fitzpatrick in the back end.
Yeah.
Like, they got guys over there every day of the week, and that's never going to be a concern. I just think they got to figure that offense out. Yeah, Patrick Queen. And if I'm them, oh my gosh! And if I'm them, why not go out and try to pay a top quarterback? Not saying there's going to be one on the market, but. We'll see how it goes, but I definitely think if the Steelers lose, you might consider shaking it up. They fired the OCs. My bad. They fired the OCs, the DCs. At one point you got to get the head coach.
So, Charles, what would be your score prediction of this Steelers-Raven game?
I honestly think it'll be close because of the familiarity, but I'd say 23-20.
Steelers?
Ravens.
Omari, what you got?
Okay, me personally, I got the Ravens winning 30-10. That offense, Steelers offense, doesn't have anything going. Now, when you're playing against Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson is MVP. He's going to win the MVP. I believe he is. He's been playing at a phenomenal level. Derrick Henry has been playing at a phenomenal level as well. So I feel like they can't stop that, even though that's an amazing defense. But I feel like Lamar is going to, run all over them, make the right passes. Derrick Henry literally. I feel like. I don't know. That defense can only save you so much.
Do you think that Derrick Henry, or everybody? Quick question too. You
asking me. You asking me.
No.
I'll play.
Do y'all think that Derrick Henry deserves to be in them offensive player of the year talks?
Yes.
Yeah. Most definitely.
I don't know if he'll win it, but he definitely needs to be in the final.
Yeah, he needs to be considered for sure.
I think the only reason he doesn't make it or win it is Lamar.
Saquon.
Yeah, that for sure. But Lamar outshouted him at being on the same team.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry definitely should be in that conversation.
So do you believe that he'll be the second?
Like runner up?
Yeah.
Nah.
Maybe.
I think
he finished top 3.
Behind Chase.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Chase, triple crown winner. I would go. I'll go Saquon off top. It'd be Saquon, Chase, Lamar for me.
Lamar for offensive player of the year.
I got to. What was it? 39-4.
But like,
y'all saying offensive player of the year?
Yeah, offensive.
Oh no. Yeah, I would go Henry then. I would go Henry.
Henry for over who?
No, top 3.
Oh yeah.
So Barkley, Chase, and then Henry.
Okay.
What would your score be, Mark?
You just said
30-10.
Yeah, 30-10. I just feel like the Ravens offense is just, it looks more fluent. It looks way more fluent. They have way more weapons.
I feel like if you stop that pass, Lamar just gonna run you down.
Yeah, they gonna like Harbaugh knows how to. Both Harbaughs, they know how to do that run offense. You know what I'm saying? That ground pound. You know what I'm saying?
I think it'd be more the boring, more of the boring games this weekend. I think this is probably the least exciting game out of all the games.
It's probably gonna be a defensive game like how it always is.
God no.
Yeah, I think so.
I think.
I think it'll be more so than what people anticipate. That's why I got my score so
respectful. But I just think that the offensive firepower that the Ravens have is not going to be close.
All right, next game we got the Broncos versus the Bills.
I got the Bills in a close game. I think it'll be 27-20. I think the defense for the Bills is shaky at best. I don't think they can. Bo Nix haven't looked that bad these previous weeks. I mean, he's showing me a little something, not too much. They can't lean on. They have no run game like at all. Javonte Williams,
Sesame or whatever his name is.
Whatever. Yeah, it's just non-existent.
It's basically Bo Nix and company.
Literally. So I'm thinking it's going to be a straight shootout. I think Bo Nix going to put the ball in the air about 35, 40 times. Utilize his legs. I think Bo Nix, I don't think he get enough credit for how much he utilizes his legs. I mean, I think he's just as dangerous as a runner as he is a passer.
Yeah, he fast.
I think Josh Allen, he's going to have one of them MVP level moments against a caliber defense as the Broncos. I think you're going up against 2 defensive player of the year candidates in Nick Bonito and Pat Surtain, and also a top 10 unit. I mean, Zach Allen, a couple years ago, he was on the Cardinals as a rotational lineman, and now he's a household name. I mean, shoot. That defense is for real. I think it's going to be a way closer game than what people give it credit for, but I believe that the Bills are going to end up winning this game 27-20 in a sneaky shootout that's not expected for sure. But I think Josh Allen will end up beating them.
I'm going Bills 28-14. I just don't think the Broncos are good enough yet. I think the Bills are playing well. You got Von Miller coming back to the Broncos. I think he'll be hyped. I think he'll have a sack, maybe 2. Who knows? But
this is his revenge game.
Yeah, I think it'll be about 28-14. Bills.
I think, in the words of Rallo Rodriguez, locked in. We ain't playing Madden. Just make sure I get the Bills.
That's loud.
I mean, for
That was nice.
For the Broncos, it's like, I think they're dangerous on the offensive side of the ball when they're on schedule. And you can say that about any offense. But it's more so along the lines of what we see, because when Bo Nix is on time with his processing his throws and everything is quick and he don't have to think too much. Not to say that he's a dumb quarterback or anything, but like when he make those split-second decisions fast as hell, that's probably him at his best. Like that's probably one of the best ways I could kind of compliment his game is he's a fast processor. And when he doesn't have to think much, I mean, the Broncos' offense is rolling. But against a team like the Bills, I think their defense, to a lot of people, can be underrated at times. They haven't been the best lately. But when you are a team like Buffalo and your offense is running ho-hum over everybody else, you don't really need them to be. James Cook is underrated as hell as a running back for sure. And Josh Allen, you mentioned he's going to have one of those MVP type of performances or one of those MVP moments. That'll definitely help. I think this game will be closer than expected, but I'd say 30-27.
Dang, very high scoring game. Omari?
Nah, for sure. Me personally, man, I'm gonna take the Broncos winning, man. I feel like
okay.
Yeah, I feel like
Okay.
surprising. Nah, I got the Broncos winning this game, man. Believe it or not, man, like I said, they're a sneaky good team, bro. That's somebody you cannot count out. Granted, the Bills are good too, and Josh Allen is also having an MVP level year. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he's gonna, like they both just said, he's gonna have to contribute a lot. I feel like he's gonna really have to step up, have an MVP performance this game. And also his defense is too, because Broncos' offense is nice. So is their defense. Their defense is ranked number 1 in sacks, and what else? Oh, they're 3rd in fewest points allowed. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, but I got the Broncos winning this game.
Not to cut you off, because I want you to continue, but you got 3 teams in the divisional round from the AFC West. The Chiefs already got it, and you obviously rocking with the Chargers and the Broncos.
It's good to see that. It's good to see that the AFC West is not just the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Because usually it just be like, it's just the Chiefs in there. You know what I'm saying? But now you got the Chargers. Now you got the Broncos. Raiders, I don't know what the hell they're going to do. They
just fired Antonio Pierce, too.
Man, that's tough. But I do have the Broncos winning this game. Bo Nix has been playing out of his mind this year. Granted, he's had some games where he was a little off. You know what I mean? But if he can play how he was playing against, I want to say the Bengals, because he was going crazy against them. He was playing.
Bo Nix?
Yeah, he was doing his
Sure, he
thing.
lost in that game.
He did. He lost
in that game, but he got him to overtime. I will
you
give
know
him
what I'm
that.
saying? If he makes the right plays, play how he's supposed to, I feel like he can lead them to that win, bro. And that defense, I know they're gonna get stops.
I respect it for sure. Trust me.
What's the score?
Wait, what?
Oh, I said 20-24.
Okay.
20-24. 20-27. 20-27. I'm gonna say that.
All right. That boy got the Broncos.
On to next. Cam already said it. He said
Cam already said it.
Better.
All right, next week. on to the NFC, man. We have the Packers versus the Eagles.
I got the Eagles in this game, but it's a very competitive game. I got them 24-21. I feel like the Packers, they really disappoint me because I feel like they was my NFC pick to come out at first because I think I really I'm saying weeks ago. I'm not saying as of recent.
Okay.
I mean, I think it really because I've just seen it so many times on primetime television where it's like, well, dang, like the Packers beating these dudes down again.
Yeah.
But Eagles, 32 ranked in pass attempts, number 1 in rush attempt. So you know what that means. It's going to be a ground and pound fest. And I think Jalen Hurts should be cleared from concussion protocol this week. I know he's been out the last 2 weeks. He's been at practice, haven't done anything in practice, so I think he has to go through the final stages of concussion protocol in order to be cleared. So hopefully he is cleared. If he's not, then obviously my score changes completely, my prediction changed completely, my thought of the game changed completely. The Packers held running backs to 4.1 yards a carry, which is tied for 5th in the league. They tied 3rd in the league in picks with 17 picks. I mean, they have some ball hawks back there. I think they will be without Jair Alexander. That's going to play a major part because
Christian Watson.
Christian Watson being out too. I think he takes away the deep threat element of the Packers offense. Josh Jacobs is a heavy. When I say a heavy load of the Packers' success, he is the heaviest load, especially without Christian Watson with that deep threat being involved. And I was going to say the Ravens. The Eagles defense playing as well as they are on the back end with Cooper DeJean, Slade, Quinion Mitchell, Blankenship, Gardner Johnson. I don't think the receiver got too many opportunities to make real deal impact plays into this game. So therefore, I feel like the Eagles are going to end up squeaking by in a very close one. But my prediction will be continue soon if Jalen Hurts don't get cleared from concussion protocol, and it's not looking too good. So as of now, I got 24-21 Eagles.
I'm going to go 24-10 Eagles. No Christian Watson, no deep threat. You got Jaden Reed still. I mean, you got Dawes, you got Wicks and all them. Josh Jacobs. Like you said, I think the passing game was going to be limited with those DBs flying around out there. Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell, Slay. I don't even give a damn about who the receivers are on the Packers with those guys on the field. Josh Jacobs with that Georgia front. You know, all those guys from Georgia, I don't think they do too much. I'm going to go 24-10.
I want to analyze the Packers' losses this season. They almost went winless in the NFC North, and they lost to the Eagles in the first week of the season. That's alarming. Like, for them to go against those caliber teams that we could see as, like, at worst case scenario, they're on equal footing, and for them to not even squeak one of those games out for the most part, it's kind of shocking. For the Packers, with all these injuries recently popping up, with Jair basically getting season-ending surgery, with Watson getting hurt on the final week of the season in a game that they needed and that they didn't even win, and even Jordan Love getting banged up to a certain extent, it's like, well, what hope do they got going up against debatably one of the best teams in the NFL by far? The Eagles, if it wasn't for what's going on in the NFC North, is like they realistically have a record that you could say is worthy of a 1 seed. Jalen Hurts, if he comes back, he's not going to be asked to, nickel and dime through the entire Packers defense. I mean, that's what they got Saquon Barkley for. They got a great offensive line.
And that's why they ranked 32nd in pass attempt for it, number 1 in rush attempt for it.
And if they do ask him to become more of a passer than usual, I mean, that's what you got guys like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith for. That's what you got guys like on the offensive line for. Like, that is a talented-ass squad. And I don't think the Packers, while I do think they can make it competitive, I don't think it'll be more than at best case scenario, a 2-possession game. I got it 30-20 Eagles.
But Charles, do you believe that if they make I think Josh Allen, if they make Jalen Hurts throw the ball a little more than what he usually does, do you feel like that plays in the advantage of the Eagles? I mean, the advantage of the Packers, or do you feel like the Eagles are just as dangerous with Jalen Hurts throwing the ball as they are running it?
I'd lean towards the Eagles because even if he isn't as dangerous, I mean, them losing Jair scares the hell out of me if I'm a Packers fan. Like, that loss is tremendous because we seen him in these type of moments be a game changer. I mean, hell, did you see what he did against Dallas last year? No offense, Cam, but like he fucked y'all up.
Nah, he did. Absolutely. He came out there and smacked us in the wild card.
Yeah, so it's like with him as a game changer not being out there, it doesn't really pose a threat if I'm an Eagles fan and I got a top tier receiver in A.J. Brown and debatably the best two in the NFL in Devontae Smith.
Where did Jair get injured with? Do y'all know?
Let me see.
I want to say something with his
knee, right?
yeah, I want to say something with his knee.
With his PCL or something?
Damn.
Nothing crazy, but I mean, like, it requires surgery. So he ain't returning anytime soon.
Omari, what is your predictions?
Me, I got the Eagles winning 27-7.
To 2?
No.
Oh, I'm
I
about to say, dang.
no, hell no. I got them winning. I got the Eagles winning 27-17, bro. I just feel like the Eagles are just more loaded than the Green Bay Packers, man. The Packers are a pretty damn good team, you know what I'm saying? But them losing Jair is huge. That's one of the best cornerbacks in the game, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and he plays a big part on their defense, you know what I mean? And granted, I mean, I don't know how they've done, without him, but I feel like he's like a huge part of that defense, especially going against guys like A.J. Brown and also the guy in Devontae Smith, you know what I mean? But I feel like, I don't know, like with Jalen Hurts, he hasn't been practicing anything like that, so I feel like he's gonna probably have an off game. Also, I think they're gonna score a lot with like Saquon. I feel like Saquon is gonna be, you know what I'm saying,
the offense.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what he's been this year. Not even kind of. He's really been the offense for the Eagles this year.
He is the offensive player of the year.
Yeah, I feel like he's been the offense this year for the Eagles. I mean, Jalen Hurts, we know his arm talent isn't like extreme. It's decent.
Very
it's okay.
man.
It's okay.
Very man.
But yeah, man, I feel like Eagles got this one. 27-17, bro.
Ain't too much to say about that one, my brother. Going to the next one.
On to the next game, man. We got the Commanders versus the Buccaneers.
I got, shockingly, I feel like this may be I don't know, because I feel like this is one of the more even matchups in the playoffs, but I got the Buccaneers winning this game in a 30-27 shootout. I feel like, well, first off, let's break it down point to point. Commanders, they played 6 teams over 500. They gave up 26 points to each team that they played that was over 500. Like I've been trying to tell you from the beginning, I feel like that the Commanders are somewhat of a front runner. I feel like their offense can only do so much. They have a limited run game, and especially against Tampa Bay, which limits your run game, especially with Vita Vea in the middle with Levante David in the middle. Mm-hmm. I mean, that defense is dangerous, especially that run defense. But pass defense is another story. Pass defense rate, they give up a 96.6 rate, which is the 25th ranked defense in the league in the pass. So that means you really pretty much have your way. Awful against tight ends. So that means my bettors out there, including myself, big day for Zach Ertz, take Zach Ertz. They don't pick out the ball a lot, so I think Jaden Daniels, you will be safe there if you take care of the ball well. But I don't know. It's something about Baker Mayfield and his gunslinger mentality against the Commanders that just give me that feeling where it's like, in a shootout, I trust Baker, Mike Evans, and that offense better than I trust Jaden Daniels. And his rookie year, albeit against Tampa Bay, I feel like Tampa Bay going to squeak out with this dub 30-27. It's going to be probably one of the highest scoring games this weekend. And that might be one of the best games this weekend.
I definitely think it'll be one of the best games of the weekend. The Bucks defensively, they definitely scare me. They got some weapons and some people that I would be concerned about. But like you said, Levante David, Vita Vea in the middle. Those two especially right there are enough for me to consider it. But me personally, with Cliff Kingsbury at the OC for the Commanders, Jaden Daniels coming off that Sunday night football game looking good. I think they'll scheme it up well on the Commanders. But I agree with what you're saying. I think I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's a smart man.
I think I'm gonna go with the Bucks. You got a rookie quarterback. You got seasoned vets all over on the Bucks.
And you got Bucky Irvin.
You got Bucky Irvin, which is he shocked me this year. He went crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I'm gonna take the Bucks. I think it'll be a little closer than what we expect. But I'm gonna say 35-21.
Damn. That's lucky kind of a blowout. Me 14 plus.
2 touchdowns, and I only give it 2 touchdowns because I think they'll score late to put it away. I think it'll be 28-21 going into that fourth. Bucks score late, put the game away. They lose 35-21.
Man, if you missed and didn't celebrate New Year's, then you will have the opportunity to do so this weekend. Because what they finna have in that game is gonna be a light show. Like, it's gonna be incredible. I personally think that this will be the highest scoring game of the weekend. The offense of the Commanders, I feel like it's so potent, and we haven't really given a lot of credit to those pieces outside of Jaden Daniels. I mean, shout out Noah Brown, shout out Zacchaeus, shout out
Noah Brown's out.
Just in general, what he was able to do before he was out. Shout out to Scary Terry, shout out Zacchaeus, shout out Zach Ertz. I mean, hell, shout out Brian Robinson Jr. I mean, shit, the way that he was running the ball for at least a considerable amount. I mean, he's been doing fairly productive for them at least. The Bucks, it's kind of not shocking to see them in this position. They are a good team, especially compared to others in the NFC South. So at this point, it just comes down to who's going to light each other up the best. And
Pause.
Light each other up the best.
That is good.
I want to lean the Commanders, but Baker, he showed me something these past few seasons in Tampa Bay, man.
He be locked in when he go out there too. So that's why I kind of look at the Bucks more. So like Baker come in, you get them smelling sauce in him.
Yeah,
he ready to go.
What I seen him do to the Eagles last year in the playoffs, then go toe to toe with the Lions in Ford Field is like, okay, like he's ready for the moment. I mean, hell, even when he was in Cleveland, he knocked off the Steelers when people thought the Steelers were going to beat the hell out of Cleveland. And then he went toe-to-toe with Mahomes and only lost by a touchdown. So, like, this is a seasoned vet in terms of playoff experience, at least recently, compared to Jaden Daniels, who we don't want to give the credit to for playoff expectations off the rip. So, just off of that alone, 33-30, Bucks.
So,
Me, I got to ride with them Bucks, man. 36-26, man, Baker Mayfield, his ability to throw the deep ball is insane. They literally just gave you all the points. Charles literally just gave out all the points on why. Like, I feel like Baker Mayfield is probably going to go crazy this game. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout for sure, especially with the weapons that Washington have. And I just feel like Mike Evans is finna go crazy, bro. He just touched the K in yards, 1K in yards. Shout out to him. I feel like he finna go even crazier this game. So,
right, he got that matchup against Lattimore though. So don't underestimate that.
They always go
Ain't that funny though?
They always go at
how they actually like got a whole matchup in the playoffs while separated from the divisions. That's actually kind of crazy.
best friends.
Oh god,
Best friends and worst
they
enemies.
get down.
That's crazy. Nah, I feel like it's gonna be a good game. That's probably gonna be like game of the week type deal.
Hey.
But I feel like the Bucks gonna win, man.
Isn't that one on Sunday Night Football?
which one?
The Commanders and the Bucks.
I feel like just the Bucks have a better defense than the Commanders. Then the Commanders' their defense is like decent, but the Bucks, man, like we all seen what they did to the Chargers. I know how good they are. Hell, like they're dangerous, bro. Bucky Irvin, dangerous. Mike Evans, dangerous. Like they're Baker Mayfield, dangerous. Like they're a good team, bro. Like they're a very good team. And I can't count them out on losing this, bro. So let's go Bucks, man.
Marshawn and Mike Evans put them Dukes up.
Nah, fast, but hey, on to the next game. I feel like this is gonna be a good game too. The Vikings versus the Rams. Who do y'all have winning and why?
The Vikings. I'm gonna say that just off of. I just don't think they have enough on the Rams offensively to compete with that Vikings defense. I know they're playing Matthew Stafford, very seasoned quarterback, but they actually beat the Vikings earlier in the year. So I think with that revenge on their brain, Brian Flores drawing them blitzes up on that defense, Justin Jefferson being Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison being himself, Hawkinson getting involved. I think the Rams gonna go home on Saturday. Now, don't get me wrong; it's gonna be a really good game. I do not doubt Matthew Stafford at all. I don't doubt Cooper Kupp, Puka, Kyron Williams, Higbee, none of those guys. But I just think the Vikings on that type of time.
I think I'm taking the Rams in this one. I'm taking the Rams in a 27-24 matchup. I feel like Matthew Stafford, he's been there. He's been through the fire. He has his personnel around him with tight end, receivers, running back, solid O-line, and a okay defense. I'm not going to say elite because I know they're not elite, but they're okay. Bend not break defense. Jerod Mayo, I mean, sure, he made the Pro Bowl this year. He might put. I'm like,
He's the dog.
He ain't making an All-Pro, but he made the Pro Bowl nevertheless. They got what's his name, Byron Young, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they have dogs on that defense, man. And I feel like Minnesota, if you can just rattle Sam Darnold, you see, I mean, I think Detroit really just gave you the recipe for success. I think if you just rattle Sam Darnold, get him out of his comfort zone,
It's over with.
it's just shrink, and especially with an offense like that. And Cam says this so many times. I mean, shoot, it's damn near on repeat in my head. How conservative that the Rams play. They will run that pill to death. They will dink and dunk it down the field.
They'll use
but
20 minutes on offense.
hey, but I guarantee you,
to.
if they give you that, if you let the Rams get the ball back with any type of field, with any type of advantage in the game, but they need to milk that clock, I guarantee you, Sean McVay gonna find a way to milk that clock. So I believe at the end of the day, I mean, all the weapons that Minnesota have, and they have weapons. Jettas, Addison, Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Sam Darnold. I mean, the line looked good all season long, despite injuries until last week. But I feel like their run comes to an end. I feel like they should have capitalized on their momentum that they had going up into that Week 18 matchup against Detroit. They couldn't capitalize on that, so therefore, you got to face a Matthew Stafford Rams with Puka Nacua that obviously, if y'all watched him last year in Detroit, he put on a show. I don't think he'll do anything less but be remarkable this week as well. And Cooper Kupp controlling that intermediate short game. I got a 27-24 game. I'm taking Rams.
This might be, and at least to me, this might be the best game of the weekend.
Damn, you said that 3 times. Damn.
I mean, I'm just doing a little bit of revisionist history. Like, damn, you got one team that's electric on offense going up against a team whose defense has been a powerhouse throughout the entire season. It's like an unstoppable force and an immovable object. Who has traditionally stopped the Rams when fully healthy?
Nobody.
And when the Vikings are rolling, who has been able to light up we just seen that last week, but outside of Detroit, because for some reason they can't beat Detroit, who has been able to light up Minnesota like that on a regular?
Rams.
They did it once, and they did do it at a level that was very impressive. But that was earlier on in the year. And this is a new season. Postseason football is different from regular season football. I still think Minnesota's a great team. Their offense is more than capable of moving the ball down the field at will at times, for sure. And I think for the Rams, it might be easy pickings for Jettas and Addison and Hawkinson once they go up against those DBs. But for some reason, the magic of McVay and Stafford, I just feel like it's going to make all the difference in the world. I mean, when he and that offense is rolling and when that defense is playing with a lead, you got yourself a whirlwind when you're going up against a team like LA. I mean, I thought that they were dead to rights when they lost those guys, and then those guys got healthy, and they turned into basically the Bengals, the hottest team in the NFC, at least in my opinion. Like, they've just been lighting people up and finding ways to squeak out victories, and they're not scared of anybody. So I don't think that Minnesota intimidates them at all. I think this will probably be 28-27 Rams.
It took Matthew Stafford 4 touchdowns last time to beat them. You think he throws 4 touchdowns this game?
No,
I don't think that it will take 4 touchdowns to beat the Vikings this time around.
for sure not.
I don't think so.
How many you think it would take?
2.
2?
Two touchdowns. You account for Kyron Williams for 1 and a couple field goals.
I got 28-27, so I think 3, and then 1 for
3
Kyron.
I'm going 30-24. 31-24.
Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings. What about Vikings?
Me, I got 30-27 Vikings.
Okay,
I
respect.
feel like the Vikings, you know what I'm saying? They're just a better team than the Rams. But I can't sleep on the Rams. They're a very good team as well. But I just feel like the Vikings, they're going to come out here, handle it offensively and defensively. So,
That's respectable.
no, for sure. Hey, but on to the next topic, man. We seen Jerod Mayo get fired, Patriots head coach. What are y'all thoughts on that?
Thank God. I'm not that type of person to be happy when a coach is fired, but you can. They had their eyes set on one candidate and one candidate only. That man's name is Mike Vrabel. I mean, his name been in the sports talks all week long. Basically, he's the leading head coaching candidate for about half of these teams already. In New England, he has ties to the community. He's played for the team. He's won Super Bowl. And the one thing that he has the benefit over Jerod Mayo and any other coach that may potentially want that job, he wasn't another Bill Belichick coaching tree. So he has no type of – everything that he's doing is his own coaching philosophy, his own way, his own feel. It's not nothing like, well, dang, like it's still that little stench of Belichick, like that strict, like, boot camp type vibe. Like, damn, like I can't even can't wear the sessions I want to practice because, like, you know, all that is gone. They trying to bring in new fresh blood into the building. I feel like Jerod Mayo was a defensive coordinator, and quite frankly, I mean, if you don't get a live offensive coordinator in there that can draw up the plays and get the most out of your weapons, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're going to have a 4-13 record just like Jerod Mayo had this year. Hopefully he can go find him a good defensive coordinator job somewhere. And if you want to go to college and get him a head coaching job, be my guest. But I feel like the amount of head coaching candidates that are out here now, they're too good to pass up. And unfortunately, I mean, you seen Antonio Pierce, he got fired from Vegas today. I mean, these candidates, these are once-in-a-lifetime candidates. Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Mike Vrabel. I mean, these guys are like top of the top. Mm-hmm. And if you think they're going to hold on to that guy because they hired him in-house just to pass up on a once-in-a-lifetime coach, I mean, Mike Vrabel, as far as I know, he went back-to-back AFC. He how many times did he win the AFC South?
He won it quite a few. He been to the AFC Championship.
Exactly. So it's like, hey, it makes no sense to keep a guy in Jerod Mayo that, quite frankly, I couldn't see him. I mean, when they hired him, I was just kind of like,
what's up?
Like, y'all, did he know something about y'all? Like, how is he hired and Mike Vrabel isn't?
But do you feel like it's a little unfair for him though?
No,
like
not
how
at
Belichick
all.
left it.
I do.
Not at all. It's the beauty of the business. I mean, at the end of the day, business is unfair.
Me personally, I probably feel like for Jerod Mayo, and I'm putting myself in his shoes, who's a part of that Bill Belichick coaching staff. I would say, what was it, the last 5 years prior to him return? Mm-hmm. And
he was a player in that as well.
Exactly. And then with that decision being made to make him the successor to Bill Belichick, I'm pretty sure that was a conversation that was had prior to, Bill Belichick return. So I kind of felt like in his situation, who's to know that, another job opportunity was going to come available, but he should still have had the opportunity to be able to look elsewhere. So I kind of feel like he sat there waiting to be the coach and waiting just to be given up on after that first year. I don't think that was fair to him. But it's the nature of the business. Like you said, it's too many good candidates in this coaching cycle to pass up on. And you don't want to be in one of those situations where you're like, dang, I wish I should have, or woulda, coulda, or why we do this or why we didn't do that. So I understand the standpoint of the Kraft family and where they are with, trying to see what better coaching candidates are out there. But I hate that Jerod Mayo had to be a casualty. Yeah, a scapegoat in the situation. But I'm pretty sure he lands on his feet somewhere, maybe not as a head coach, but
Back in his prominent role as a defensive coordinator somewhere.
Yeah,
And that's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
that's not.
I kind of agree with Cam. Like, I understand when you got all the, like you mentioned, this talent pool of head coaches just looking for a job.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah, I understand that aspect of wanting to get those guys, but you're taking a chance on attempting to get those guys by getting rid of someone in-house. I understand that it makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, because I've seen online, like, a lot of people trying to make this about race. Like, oh, it's another less black coach in the NFL. Like, let's hit the pause button and let's not even look at this from a racial aspect. Let's look at this from a common sense aspect. We don't know what we have until we see it for a certain amount of time. I seriously doubt that there are situations where you automatically know what you're getting based off of 1 year. Like, for what it's worth, Bill Belichick was in-house with the New England Patriots for a long period of time before he ended up having his successful run with the Patriots. Like, them 6 Super Bowls didn't just come just off of his first year. He was there for a lengthy amount of time. What DeMeco Ryans did for the Texans, that's rare. Like, you don't see a lot of coaches just hopping in a situation, getting the keys to the car, and being able to be the best driver possible that you could have found. For Jerod Mayo, they basically gave him the keys to the car. Actually, I got a better analogy.
They gave him a rental.
They gave him a rental. But not even that. The organization, for what it's worth, right now, post the Tom Brady era, has had 1 year of success. And after that, it's been terrible.
Yeah.
They gave him terrible ingredients and told him, let's make a meal.
Last year.
Exactly.
I think he had the same record as Bill Belichick was last year. So
what's the
it's not much different in the situation.
With the same players.
Then think about it like this too. Bill Belichick, we can all kind of look at it as like the best coach in NFL history, depending on who you ask. And that was his successor. And you give his successor
1 year.
1 year.
And you fired him right after this. I mean, they waited a day.
They waited no time
They fired him
whatsoever.
the same day, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, that's
Right after he did the media, I saw. So
Shit, they probably were pissed that he won that game.
like, for all intents and purposes, the Jets are a dysfunctional franchise, but we don't necessarily look at the Robert Saleh firing as bad, because while it is unfortunate that the best part about the Jets was the defense and they let the defensive piece go, he was there for like 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And he had a track record of losing seasons. Like, the NFL is a results-oriented business. But when those results that are expected to be terrible are terrible, and you blame the person that you just gave the keys to the franchise, then what was the point of giving him the key to the franchise if you expected change this damn quickly when that's not even realistic?
I feel like it's more the fact that I understand what both of y'all are saying, but I feel like it's coming from a standpoint of when we have another opportunity to grab the coach that we want. They wanted him from back when he was in Tennessee, when they still had Belichick and all that stuff, but obviously Tom Brady was out. They knowing that it was a new era coming through. Bill Belichick wasn't going to be able to be around forever. They like what they seen in Mike Vrabel. So it's just the fact that I understand, like, you know, the race card when it comes to, I mean, shoot, I'm a Texas fan. We done fired 2 black coaches back-to-back years, so I understand how it is. But at the same time, when you have that head coaching candidate that you set your eyes on, that you feel like that can be a franchise shifter, a generational piece to the puzzle that you're trying to put together, you have to go all in on it. And unfortunately, you burn a bridge with Jerod Mayo that, you know, that probably was cooking for a little while. And truthfully, let's keep it a bean. He really got that job. I mean, that job was, I think that was 100% politics. When he got that job, it was a 100% in-house hire. They interviewed people knowing damn well they didn't have a chance at the job because they already guaranteed it to somebody else. So I realistically think that Jerod Mayo, I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, what has Jerod Mayo showed in those previous years to say, like, damn, like, that's our head coach? Like, the defenses when he was there, like, after that first year when they were 10-7, they were average, a little below average. Like, there wasn't nothing to write home about. So it's like, what did he realistically do to say that I deserve this head coaching opportunity in the NFL? He did absolutely nothing. It was just strictly off of the relationship he had with Robert Kraft, and obviously Bill Belichick probably put in a good word with him.
I get that aspect of it, but you're putting eggs into a basket that hasn't been created yet. I mean, before we knew what this version of Aaron Rodgers is, we thought that he was a top tier quarterback in the NFL when he was getting ready to leave Green Bay.
No.
I'm not talking about like, oh, he's gonna change life for this entire franchise, but at that moment in time, majority of the world thought that Aaron Rodgers was gonna be the caliber quarterback that could take your team over the top if you needed that one piece.
Yeah.
So the Denver Broncos were in the same situation, but with the quarterback instead of the coach. They hired Nathaniel Hackett. They hired all these pieces to get Aaron Rodgers to get to the squad. And he ended up going to New York. You put all these eggs into one basket just to not get that opportunity to fulfill what your wishes was going to be. Like, at the end of the day, it's not a reality that Mike Vrabel is going to be there, at least not yet. It's not set in stone. At this moment in time, it's a fantasy, and you're taking a chance on getting someone of that caliber when that chance has a realistic possibility of not even coming to fruition.
But I think from I'm gonna keep it quick. I feel like they would have never fired Jerod Mayo if they didn't know they had a guaranteed lock-in with Mike Vrabel. I feel like if they didn't know they had a 100% guaranteed locked-in deal with Mike Vrabel already kind of verbally done, I feel like they would never fire him. That's just my opinion. We'll see with the weeks to come. But as far as I know, I feel like they kind of already know they got the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they get him.
I feel like it's a bit unfair because of how Belichick left it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? It's the NFL. This is how it is.
Beauty of the beast.
Yeah, that's literally beauty of the beast, man. But I feel like Mike Vrabel is a great hire for them. And if the Patriots are smart, they will capitalize and get him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's going to make that team a lot better than what it is.
That's sure. Hopefully he don't take no jobs anywhere else, so he can still get that head coach's pay.
Imagine if he was to take a job somewhere. You know how bad of a look that would be for New England? That would be insane.
But they still have like other head coaching.
Oh, they got other
head coaching vacancies available as well.
So but Mike Vrabel is probably like the best.
I read that it was more so not what he did on the field, but it was how he controlled the locker room off the field.
Yeah,
and press conferences as well.
I think it was a little bit more to it than we probably know about, but that's just, I'm looking at Russell Westbrook, damn. But that's just what I read a little earlier today, and just looking at his demeanor, he kind of seems like a kind of go with the flow, not too high, not too low type of guy. So I definitely think, and I definitely think they need to go ahead and go get Mike Vrabel. And I saw that they were saying Vrabel interview with the Jets to kind of piss the pass off. So
I seen that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll hone in on their guy pretty soon.
Nah, for sure.
For their sake, they better.
What he say? Sure, I want a little extra bucks. Hey, I'll go somewhere else if you don't lock in on me right now.
Yeah. You got this one chance.
Hey, for real.
But now, on to the next topic, man. We see, college football playoffs coming up, man. We got the Texas versus Ohio State game, and then we got Penn State versus Notre Dame. Let's start off with that Texas versus Ohio State game. Who y'all got in that game?
I'm going quick, fast, in a hurry, man. I got Ohio State beating Texas. I don't trust Quinn Ewers. I feel like Jeremiah Smith is the best receiver in the country.
Dog.
I feel like if he was draft eligible, he'd be top 5 this year.
He's big as hell too.
Oh, what?
Big
6'3", 225.
As a
I
freshman.
thought he was two.
He's 225, and he looks like an NFL receiver.
Imagine what he would do as a sophomore.
But just imagine the number one offense in the
yet.
nation, number one team in the nation, Oregon, just went against that same Ohio State team and got shut down. Just imagine what an inconsistent Texas team is going to do against that level of defense. And don't even get me started on what Jeremiah Smith is going to do against those caliber cornerbacks. I mean, Texas has some solid. Texas has some guys.
Muhammad is nice.
But didn't we think Oregon had some guys before Jeremiah Smith went out there and did what he did to him? So therefore,
that's true.
I think Ohio State will take care of business. I think it'll be 31-17. I don't think it'll be relatively close. I think Texas' inconsistencies on offense will take a toll. And unfortunately, we won't be seeing Texas in the big dance this year, in my opinion. 31-17.
I agree with you. I'm not going to say 31-17. I think they put up a little bit more than that. I'm going to say 40-24.
Damn! A little worse.
Chip Kelly as the OC. I mean, I just watched Arizona State literally, will their way to a comeback against UT last weekend. Scatterboo went crazy. Shout out Cam Scatterboo. But I think Texas is a little too inconsistent offensively with Quinn Ewers. If I'm them and game gets kind of out of hand early, I might go to Archman, me personally, but I definitely think Ohio State goes there and they take it home. Jeremiah Smith, can't do nothing with him.
Man.
Jeremiah Smith and that run game.
Nah, and then forget not even just Jeremiah Smith. They got to deal with Njigma too. I mean, like, that's a receiving core that I don't want no smoke with if I'm Texas. I mean, maybe we got to give Arizona State more credit because maybe they just was better than we all thought for them to even make that a game against Texas. If Texas is supposed to be in this elevated level of team compared to them. But even with that being said, Ohio State is a buzzsaw. If they're not playing a team like Michigan, they're capable of running through literally anybody in their path. They already beat Penn State. We have no idea what they would do if they were to see a Notre Dame. But we look at what they're capable of doing against the best and the only team that's undefeated in Oregon, and they beat the hell out of them. Now you got an inconsistent Texas team that is shaky on offense and at times very undisciplined on defense. It might get spooky real quick. I got it. They might do exactly what they did to Oregon. Mac put up 30 at half. So at the final score, I might say, 37-27.
Could be done.
Texas, I love you. You know what I'm saying? But I got to go Ohio State with this one, man. Like we've been saying, we seen what they just did to number 1 Oregon. They literally kicked their ass. So it's like Texas is too inconsistent. Quinn Ewers hasn't been looking the same, man, ever since that oblique injury and that ankle injury. There is no pass game whatsoever, man. It just doesn't look the same. If it ain't Jaden Blue or Contrevion Wisner, it ain't nothing, honestly, bro. Isaiah Bond, he's kind of had like a down moment because injury, you know what I'm saying? Still rock with him, you know what I mean? But I gotta go Ohio State winning this. They're a lot more consistent. I feel like they're gonna take control quick. They're gonna capitalize on defense and offense. I feel like Texas, I don't know, man. It's too inconsistent for me. But I got the game, man. I got Ohio State winning 34-20. I'm gonna say 34-20.
Oh, Ohio State O's up, horns down.
And he's a Texas fan, right?
Hey, I'm just being honest, bro. Like, you gotta be a realist. Like, I've been rocking with Texas since I let it know.
You gotta sync with the shit, man.
He ain't that type of fan. I mean, so you just see what he did with the Chargers.
Huh? What? I'm sticking with
He
him.
gonna stick with them, but not with his college team.
I mean, I'm a realist, bro. They don't look unless Quinn come with some heat and he playing like how he was playing against Michigan and all the other teams. Cool.
We see what
next game.
Hopefully it's a good
Next
game.
game.
But Penn State versus Notre Dame, man. Who y'all got?
I got Penn State. I don't believe in Riley Harvey. I mean, I don't believe in Riley Leonard whatsoever. Even him back at Duke, I weren't the biggest fan of him. I think I like what's his name, the quarterback at Penn State. I don't want to say his name wrong because he already said it wrong.
Drew. Just call him Drew.
Say his last name.
I said Alar. But it's Aller. I'm sorry. From what Charles told me, he said it's Aller. Yeah. Drew, if you see this video, I apologize, brother.
Nah, but I got Penn State 20-24-10.
Okay. I like Notre Dame. I don't think you gotta trust Riley Leonard. I think you just gotta put faith in that defense and that running game. Like, Penn State is flashy and they're physical on both sides of the ball, but I think Notre Dame is capable of matching that and even surpassing that. Marcus Freeman, he's been doing his thing for sure. And for all the hoopla that's been going on about, hey, he lost to Northern Illinois, we should let him go. This is not the coach that should be the successor to Brian Kelly. He's shutting all that shit up immediately. So right now, I got Notre Dame. I think it'll be low scoring though. I think it'll be like, I'd say for college football standards, 2017.
I get with it. I'm more Notre Dame for sure. I just think they're on a different type of level than when it comes to dealing with Penn State. I saw that their record head-to-head all time is 9-1. Me personally, Penn State just doesn't scare me outside of their running game. I think Notre Dame defensively is better than Penn State. A little bit more, I would say, creativity on the offensive end than Penn State. But overall, I do think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be, for college football standards, I'm going to go 27-20.
Me, I got Penn State winning. Joe Alar is a talent. I feel like he's the next big.
I did it
again. What's Aller? Drew Aller. I'm sorry,
Brian.
but
Chill.
I got Drew Aller. I like Drew Aller. I feel like he's the next big thing, next good quarterback in his class or whatever in this next draft class. I don't know. I feel like they just have more offensive firepower than just a run game. You know what I'm saying? Than Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame, their defense is crazy, and it's always been good. It's always been good for as long as we can remember. You know what I'm saying? But I do have Penn State winning this game. I feel like it's gonna be. I'm gonna say 27 to. It's gonna be a close game. It's probably gonna be 27 to 26. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say it's gonna be
It'll be a good game for sure.
26.
yeah.
That's a very creative score. I don't
That
know
is
where
a
you getting that
creative score.
from, but I know where I'm getting this from, man. Check the stats. Episode
It's not
35.
realistic.
We're coming to an end. If you made it to the end of this episode, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms, man. It's only going up from here. Chargers. We giving y'all that goddamn bill. Believe that one.
That's
Don't give me this shit.
Man. You already know what it is. Shout out Big Cam.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all having me, man.
Hey, if you need them picks, hit up Cam. He get you in the mix.
Yes, sir.
If you need a plan, hit up Sam, man. If your life getting scary, hit up Cali Gary. And if your life is a mess, hit up Big Jess. But if you need them damn facts, check them damn stats. We out.
Yes, sir.